Welcome to World Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Natalie Rydstrom. The ICC Champions Trophy comes to its conclusion this week with just 4 teams remaining: India, England, South Africa and Sri Lanka. All that stands between these teams and the trophy is each other and just 3 fixtures, starting with the semi-finals today and tomorrow, followed by the grand finale on Saturday. Here now with us to discuss all the betting odds is sports writer Richard O'Hagan. Richard, welcome to the show.
Hi, Natalie.
Okay, well, first match we have playing on Wednesday is strong contender England versus buoyant South Africa. Popular thought is that England will win this match, but bookies have them down with the same odds to win, priced at 1.9 with Bet365. Now, who's likely to emerge from this match as victors, Richard?
I think it is more likely that England will win this. They've been a consistent team in this tournament. They had the one hiccup against Sri Lanka last week, which really was something of a hiccup. All the bowlers had a collective off day. The batsmen performed rather well. South Africa are a little bit of a patched up side. They've had big injury problems. They've lost key players like Graham Smith, who's the test captain, and Morne Morkel, who they would love to have had bowling in this game. It's at a ground where he always does well, but he's missing completely. He injured himself in the first game of the tournament. So I do think England will get through, but I do think it's going to be a close game.
Okay, what other bets are you going to make on this match?
I think you can look at, for example, the overall score, because particularly with the side batting first, what you're looking to do is to try to predict the score that they make after 50 overs. And the best way to do that is to wait until 30 overs have gone, and then, provided they've got fewer than 5 wickets down, double that score, because that's the target they'll be aiming for. And that's where you can put a decent amount of money.
Okay, and if you had to predict a correct score right now, are you confident enough to do that?
I think the correct score for the first innings is going to be over 300 runs. The Oval is the biggest cricket ground in England. It's got lots of wide open spaces normally, and in this tournament, and in fact in any one-day game played there, they have fielding restrictions, so you can only have a certain number of fielders patrolling the outfield, if you like, and that makes it very easy for batsmen to work the ball into spaces and to score runs. So as England found out last week against Sri Lanka, where they scored 293 and still lost, you've got to get over 300 in the first innings.
Right, okay. Now this brings us to our second semi-final match, which will play on Thursday against competition favourites India versus Sri Lanka. After a tough match against Australia on Monday, Sri Lanka will be facing their biggest opponents yet. And India come into this match undefeated in Group B. Bookies are favouring India in this match with odds of 1.66, and the underdog Sri Lanka are priced at 2.10. Now, who do you think we'll see going into the finals?
I think we will almost certainly see India going into the finals. The reason is India have such a strong batting lineup. They haven't all performed in this tournament, but they haven't all needed to. They've got Shikhar Dhawan, who is the opening batsman, who's the leading run scorer in the tournament so far, and his opening partner Rohit Sharma, who is about 7th in the run scorer list. And between the two of them, they have just batted every team out of the game so far. Add to that the fact that the Sri Lankans had problems bowling teams out. They even struggled against Australia on Monday night when they only had to bowl them out to win the game. They got into a really difficult position where the Australian last pair almost won the game and batted for many, many overs to try to do that. So I really think Sri Lanka are going to have big difficulties in this match.
I agree with you there. And is there any other bets with value in this match, Richard?
Again, you can obviously look on the spread for the runs scored. You might want to go slightly higher than the 300 for the England game, because Cardiff is a small ground and they have got big hitters on both sides of these teams. So I imagine, again, you're looking probably even round about 320 is going to be a winning total here. Also, you might want to have looked at who might be the highest run scorers in this game, because with players like Dhawan and Kumar Sangakkara, who's second in the run scoring list, the Sri Lankan number 3 batsman, there are going to be opportunities there to make money on other batsmen. Mahela Jayawardene of Sri Lanka has been in very good touch as well. He's not made massive scores, but he's got a couple of scores over 50. He might be a good guy to look for to be the leading run scorer in this game.
Moving on to the bets for the competition as a whole now, is there any point betting anyone other than Shikhar Dhawan in the leading run scorer market?
There certainly isn't any point betting on him before the India-Sri Lanka game starts. If he happens to get out cheaply in that game and India bat first, then you might want to look at backing either of the Sri Lankan Sangakkara or Jayawardena, because they're the only guys who can realistically catch him in this market. So don't put any money on just now. Wait and see what happens on Thursday morning. And if Pawan doesn't last very long and India are batting first, then back the Sri Lankans.
And finally, who will we see winning? Bookies are favouring India, priced at 2.62, followed by England at 3.75. Who are you going to be betting on to win?
I've been on England all the way through this, Natalie. They've done well in most of the tournaments that have been played at home, and they usually manage to scrape through at least to the final. If they get to the final, they're going to have a very real chance no matter who they're up against. They've got the quality bowling to trouble any side in the world on their own territory. So I really do think that England are your best bet in this competition at the moment.
That's right, Richard. You certainly have. You've been backing it since we've started this programme covering the ICC. You've been following England. So let's see if they'll do it this weekend.
Well, fingers crossed, certainly for my sake.
Richard, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.